To a major cold case in the state line, nearly 4 months after skeletal remains were found in the Pecatonica River, the Winnebago County Coroner's Office releases new details about the remains in question.
The bones were found in a 1966 Chevy Impala that was pulled from the river in mid-March. At the time of recovery, believed to be connected to the disappearance of two Freeport area men, Clarence Owens and Everett Hawley. After the remains were sent to forensic analysts, Winnebago County Coroner Jennifer Moraski says it was determined the bones belonged to two adult men and no trauma was found on any of the recovered bones.
Moraski says the identification of the bones and how the men died is still under investigation, and it will take more time to discover that. The cold case investigation remains open with the Winnebago County Sheriff's Office.